Welcome back to Cloud9 Intuitive. My name is Janine, and I just wanted to hop on here to do a quick end of the year message, but also to thank you all so much for your love and your support over this year. I am truly humbled, inspired, and blessed to have all of you here with me. And I'm so thankful for those of you who have subscribed to Patreon, who have engaged with me here or on other social media platforms, who have booked a personal reading and continue to book personal readings. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much. And I look forward to continuing to grow together in the new year. And I know that 2021 was a year where there was a lot of upheaval, a lot of shaky ground, and calls for major life changes. And hopefully those changes help to sort of steer you into your transformation and into a greater sense of purpose and a more defined sense of intention as we move into 2022, which promises to be a year of forward motion and a year where we start to see those transformations go to work and see the way that they manifest new experiences for our lives. So without further ado, I just want to do a quick reading. I'm going to use the Lantern Oracle, which I haven't used in quite some time, to start off, and then we'll lean in with some tarot. And I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I'll be right back. Like I left something for the new moon, which is coming up next week. So let's just see here what messages want to come through for the collective. End of year, end of 2021. Spirit, show me what I need to see. Whoop. I'm going to take them. Oh, I love it. Okay. So the first card out is Eternal Gatekeeper. And it says, acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. So, like I was saying, 2021, there were a lot of changes, a lot of really coming into realizations that things that may have previously been staples in our lives were no longer resonating, and really having to stand on our own truth. And that's something that I talked about all year long, really having to come into and stand on our own truth about what was speaking to our higher selves, what was speaking to our more evolved selves. And so that is something that I feel like a lot of people have really come into power and are really willing to stand their ground and speak very loudly and clearly and proudly about what they believe and what the world that they're trying to shape and create around themselves. And then we have Spirit Self, be who you are as you are. Again, being really clear about the truth that is you, the light that is you, and not really shrinking, no longer getting out of this energy of feeling like you need to shrink in order to conform. That energy of conformity is gone to the wayside. We've experienced all of these major changes, these transformations of our inner selves in order to be able to be more confident in our light and allow our light to be the thing that pushes us forward into sort of these new experiences that are being shaped. Some of us have come into new gifts or are starting now to experience the world through new eyes. I'm getting a lot of light workers coming online in 2021, and that was sort of the shift that was taking place. A lot of people really understanding like, oh, I have, I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient, whatever it is, right? Or like I have sort of power in my hands, whatever it is, right? People really understanding like, oh, I have been divinely gifted with this so that I can step into some sort of work in the world, whatever that is for you, whatever those gifts are that have come online for you. It feels like now you're like, okay, this is a part of me. This is who I am. And it's not something that I need to be embarrassed of or shy away from. It's something that I need to step into. And then you have moving forward, the first step is taken within our stillness. And like I said, 2022 promises it to be a year of a lot of forward motion, a lot of taking these transformations, these new ways of understanding ourselves, seeing ourselves, experiencing the world, taking our gifts and really and moving forward as we're sort of shaping the world around us. So, you know, very exciting energy, and right on par with what I've been seeing and experiencing, and coming to understand over as I reflect on this year. But let's see what messages want to come through. I'm going to use the Serpent Fire Tarot. What messages want to come through for the collective? End of year message for the collective, please. Yes. Wow. Okay. A lot of major arcana around here. Yes. Okay. What's really coming through very strongly is releasing this this idea of being small, in the world, of your voice not being important, of you not being able to make an impact, of this like low sense of self-worth, or feeling like you don't have enough or there is not enough to go around. Moving out of that energy and stepping into this energy of saying like, no, I am divinely gifted. I am worthy. Some of you, whoever's doing Reiki, you are extremely powerful. Somebody out here is doing Reiki. Very powerful energy. But like understanding that you are being sort of elevated into this sense of purpose, and you're worthy of it, and what you have to offer, what you have to contribute is valuable. Also, sort of a lot of what's going to be happening. There's that shaky ground, right, in 2021 of being like, oh, I don't know what happens next. I don't know what happens next. And some of us are still feeling that energy. But what I think happens next is this stabilization. This stabilization in that you might not know exactly what happens next in the grand scheme of the socio-political realm, right? But you know what happens next for you. You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going, what is intended for you to receive. That is what you do know. And so standing on that, standing in the power of that here with the Emperor card, yeah, very powerful energy. You know, some of you are deciding to go into business for yourself, or like just to take your power back from any kind of structure that was trying to dictate what you do or what you say. You're taking your power back. For some of you are, I don't know who's watching this, but some of you are starting spiritual businesses of some sort, because you have the Emperor and the Hierophant card here. Some of you are starting spiritual businesses, or even just like really stepping into your ascension, embracing your ascension. I'm getting like meditation center. I don't know. I don't know what that means. A meditation center or something like that. But what's very interesting here is it kind of looks like this guy has a mask on. I know it's not a mask. I know it's probably a beard, but it looks like he has a mask on. So some of you are really like figuring out how to do what you do in a safe way in person, giving the new structures of the world. Like that's going to happen for you. You're going to be able to figure out how to do that in the new year. Those things are probably starting to gel here at the end of the year. Some things are starting to make themselves available to you. Spaces are starting to make themselves available to you. You're getting ideas on how you can maybe make something work. But stepping into your ascension, really committing to yourself, committing to your power, committing to your vision here, with the Three of Wands, and understanding that when you commit to that vision, you open up space for your ships to come in. You open up space for your blessings to come forth. You open up space for your expansion. And you get into alignment with your soul family, your star family. It's almost like you have to commit to your own power in order to move forward toward like the community of people that are going to support you in the expression of that power, and leaving this energy of lack, of not being enough, of not having enough, leaving that behind. Let me just see if any other messages want to come through here. So if you have struggled through this year, if it has been difficult in terms of resources, or just feeling, just struggling to feel like you were enough or you had enough, struggling in general, right? There wasn't enough time. You didn't have a lot of energy. If you have struggled, that starts to change here as you commit to your ascension, as you commit to yourself. Yes, Nine of Pentacles. As you commit to yourself, commit to knowing that you've always had enough. You've always been enough. You are worthy as you are, and you will be continued to be giving gifts. You're going to be continued to be giving gifts, even as you're standing out there, you're feeling alone, and everything that's going on behind you feels like this whirlwind of like, I don't know where I fit in here. It's because you're not meant to fit in. You're meant to start crafting your own experience. You're meant to start creating your own lane, so to speak, right? Creating your own lane based on your unique vision. Ten of Wands. 10 of Cups, 8 of Wands, thank you. 10 of Wands, releasing these burdens of like, it's almost like, it's almost like you've been spending a whole year of taking in all of this negative energy, all of this fear energy, and it's become this burden of like, God, this dark cloud that's looming over the collective of like, oh, not this again, not like now what do we do, or whatever like that, and this confusion that's sort of being loomed sort of up over top of the collective, and standing in your power to say, you know what, that's not my story. That's not my experience. I don't exist in fear. I don't exist in confusion. I create from a space of love. I create from a space of personal power. I create from a space that says I'm committing to my spiritual ascension, right? I'm committing to myself. I create from a space of worthiness. I don't create from a space of lack that says that I'm beholden to any kind of structure to provide for me. I provide for myself by committing to myself. And that relieves you of this burden, because you no longer have to feel like you're trying to sort of shape your life in the energy of confusion, or shape your life around the fear. You're realizing like, oh, that's not necessary, right? I can shape my life in an energy of love, of bliss, of harmony, right? And that allows me to create my own world from within. I create my world within. It goes inside out, right? I create my world within and then express it outwardly, right? And then you have the 8 of Wands, and this understanding enables you to do very meaningful work here, and you start to communicate. Some of you are going to be doing more sort of astral traveling, realizing like, oh, I don't need, even if physically I can't go somewhere that I need to go, I can get there. I can get to where I need to be. I don't know who that's for. Some of you are going to be doing more astral traveling, but a lot of you are going to be just communicating these new understandings of self, these new understandings about what it means to create joy, what it means to create a world that doesn't that isn't crafted around fear, that isn't crafted around confusion, to what that means and how you do that, how you create these bridges between people, starting to come back together as a collective instead of like feeling like this constant dissonance. We're moving into more harmonious times. Moving into more harmonious times. And for a lot of you, you know, the strength card's at the bottom of, oh, that wasn't at the bottom of the deck. What are these two cards? The strength, I picked it up and it was the strength card. So for a lot of you, this is going to take a lot of fortitude and standing in the face of, standing in the face and speaking out against things that would have you sitting in fear, that would have you sitting in this energy of confusion, and standing again in your power and saying, no, I have a higher knowing, right? My higher self knows better than to allow this fear to be the thing that nourishes my body and in fact is like depleting my sense of self, right? And then you have here the Hermit and the Knight of Cups. You know, you're willing to go out on your own here. You're going to be willing to stand out on a limb. You're going to be willing to separate from things that are not speaking to you. You're no longer, the Knight of Cups is in reverse. You're no longer going to be like so easily charmed, so easily lured into I mean, like into like subscribing to whatever you're being told. It's like, it's almost like you can see you like, it's like candy coated bullshit. Like, right? You're no longer really going to allow candy coated bullshit to be given to you like it's Skittles. It's not Skittles, right? That's not the rainbow you're trying to taste, right? You want the rainbow bridges that like bring people back together and not the things that continue to separate us. And so you're going to be willing to go out on a limb here. You're going to be willing to take these they're saying learning expeditions or knowledge expeditions, where you go out and it's again, the Hermit goes out and learns something new to bring it back to the people. So you're going to be deep in your studies here. You're going to be, so a lot of you are going to be focused on your spiritual health and helping people again to align with their spiritual health, focused on physical health and helping people to align with what that means to be actually physically healthy in this world. Mental health is coming through here. All forms of health, but it requires you to actually do the work yourself here first so that you can come back with this information. So there's a solo mission that's coming forward, but it's a solo mission where there's a lot of forward motion on your part, and then you can come together, then and it leads you into an energy of community, and a community that is supportive of your mission, of your goals, of your ultimate power, to create a world of like create a world in a unified mission. I hope that makes sense for somebody out there. Is there anything else that wants to come through, Spirit? Wow, thank you. Yeah, again, candy-coated bullshit. 7 of Swords with the 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. You're realizing all of the ways that you have, by accepting confusion, by accepting illusions, that you have in fact been operating in a space of betrayal to your higher self. And that realization is leading you to recommit to your own ascension, recommit to your own inner knowing and your own higher knowing, that is going to help you to craft your own, craft a new version of the world, right? To stand in community with people who resonate with you, and allow people who are no longer resonating with you to go. Allow them to go on their own path and create the world as they see it, right? And so there's a sense of togetherness, and there's a sense of there's a sense of coming together in new community, Communities are going to be shifting here. Communities are going to be changing. What you consider to be your community is not going to look the same as we move deeper into 2022. Because when you come back from this learning expedition, when you come back from gathering this knowledge of self and this new understanding of the world, you're going to realize very deeply what is not resonating anymore, and who is committed to misunderstanding you. And you're going to move into communities where people are wanting to know you, know your true self, know you intimately, not just wanting to have the candy coated bullshit type of relationships. Let me get one oracle card. We're going to do a Shaman's Dream, just to wrap it up here. Yep. Root girl, the disowned self, right? You are going to realize the ways that you have not been true to yourself, and allow some things to fall away so that you can experience this new growth, so that you can experience a renaissance of self is what the words that are coming through to me. But let's take a look here. This is 46. That's a 10. An ending. Some things are going to be coming to a complete end because you're realizing that they have been built on a foundation of fear and confusion. That's the beginning and the end of that. So it says, root girl sits shivering, unclean, and naked at the base of the tree of the self. She is unloved, unwanted, and shunned for her deformities. She has no home, but is safe burrowing underground to dwell near the deepest roots of this sacred tree. Who is she to you? Could this urchin be the one part of you that reintegrated can lead you to wholeness and true purpose? This is a part of you, the embodiment of a deeply flawed perception of your failures, manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy onto others or any emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. But if you would only look into Root Girl's eyes and see the beauty of the unmet need, your unmet need, you would realize that this part of you asks for your compassion and understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded and were conditioned to believe that you're not whole, that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it was this child self came to be curled up at the roots of your sacred tree self. It's time to welcome her into your heart. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated, and your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love Root Girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look for the beauty. No longer focusing on the fear, no longer focusing on the ways that you have felt like you did not fit in, or you could not understand, or you were misunderstood, and focusing on crafting a world in which the beauty, the love, the compassion, and the joy takes the forefront. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I will see you all in the new year. Feel free to join me over on Instagram. I'm not taking personal readings right now. I'm booked up, but when I open those up again, I will let you know. Until then, I am sending you so much love, so much peace, and so many blessings. And I will see you in the next video.